Next on Corpus Christi, a fictional tale. Chapter 2 looks into the life of Hector Sanchez, the man Marianne really met at 2:15 a.m. when she thought she was blackmailing Mayor Arthur. Hector takes us through his upbringing, meeting Arthur and becoming the right hand to the mayor. Stay tuned.
Orivon presents Corpus Christi, a fictional tale. Chapter 2. The Rise of Sanchez. Hector Sanchez didn't believe in destiny. He believed in the bus schedule. In 1999, the RTA bus was the only thing that stood between a 15-year-old Hector and the crushing boredom of the West Side. He was a kid with nothing but a pocket full of mid-grade weed and a grandmother who was too tired from 40 years of cleaning hotel rooms to notice he hadn't been home in 2 days. At 9 years old, he had watched his parents' world end in a twisted heap of metal on I-37. Since then, the streets had been his only real parents. He was standing at a bus stop on Port Avenue, the air thick with the smell of exhaust and fried corn, when he saw him. Across the street, at a taco stand that had no name, just a rusted sign and the best barbacoa in the city, stood a man who looked like he had stepped off a different planet. He was wearing a sharp charcoal gray suit that didn't have a single wrinkle, despite the 98-degree heat. He held a taco in one hand and a Motorola flip phone in the other, barking orders with the confidence of a man who owned the sun. Intrigued, Hector let the 27 bus pull away without him. He crossed the street. "You're gonna miss your ride, kid," the man said without looking up from his taco. "I'd rather know where you got that suit," Hector replied, his voice steadier than a 15-year-old's had any right to be. The man finally looked at him. His eyes weren't the eyes of a politician, not yet. They were the eyes of a shark. "This suit? This is the price of knowing when to close a deal. My name's Arthur. I sell furniture. And I sell dreams." "What do you sell?" "Enough weed to keep the neighborhood happy," Hector said with a sly smirk. Arthur laughed, a sound like gravel in a blender. "Small time. Weed is for kids. Come by my showroom on Leopard tomorrow. I need a runner who isn't afraid to miss the bus." That furniture showroom was a front for the kind of distribution the police didn't have the stomach to touch. Arthur wasn't just a salesman. He was the gateway for the white horses moving up from Mexico. Within a year, Hector had traded his baggy jeans for a polo and slacks. He wasn't selling bags on the corner anymore. He was in the back room, weighing out kilos and bagging pure white for the city's elite. Arthur taught him everything. He taught him how to talk to a judge like a gentleman and how to handle a snitch like a butcher. When Arthur made the jump from furniture king to city council and eventually to the mayor's office, Hector was right there in the shadow. He was the fixer, the ruthless thug who could still navigate a black tie gala. Hector was loyal to a fault. If you were with him, he was your shield. If you crossed him, he was your grave. He had spent 10 years cleaning up Arthur's messes, the gambling debts, the land deal bribes, and the private cravings. The black Lexus hummed as Hector pulled it onto Leopard Street 27 years after he first stood at that bus stop. The government plates were his armor. He looked at the dashboard clock. 2:14 a.m. He was here for his weekly drunken 7-11-8 stress relief. He pulled up to a defunct car wash, the neon flickering in the humid haze. He saw her, the one they called Marianne. She looked like all the others, bait, but there was something in her eyes that reminded him of himself at that bus stop, a hunger that shouldn't be there. He unlocked the doors. "Get in," he growled. He didn't know that by morning, the girl in the sequined clip would be his boss's new assistant, and the secrets he had spent a lifetime guarding were about to become the nails in his own coffin.
You've been listening to Corpus Christi, a fictional tale. New chapters every Wednesday at 9 p.m. For more from the vault, follow Orivon Media. We're just getting started.
Orivon.